use on your phone. It's called social media. Oh, you ready to go?
Yeah, let's do
I'm
this.
ready. Hi all,
Oh,
it's Chris Thompson here from Property Portal Marketing. I'm with Simona, and welcome to episode 3. We're talking about the beast that is Facebook. I'm laughing because we've got so much to get through in about half an hour.
yeah. Well,
I
good
think it's
part, everybody knows Facebook.
That's true. Everybody does know Facebook, and we spent the last week coming up with some interesting stats for everybody. Some really interesting stats actually, which are up to date, and these are using a number of different statistic tools. Statista being one of them. But we're going to try and condense about 5 or 6 hours worth of content into probably 2 or 3 parts, whilst keeping it fun and informative. I think we're going to cover off the basics today, aren't we? And Simona's going to do most of this one because, being our social media manager, she knows a little bit more about it than I do. I will just sit and nod and look good. So there we are.
That was my part when you're discussing the topics.
Role reversal today. So look, why don't we start, Simona, by coming off some of these really interesting stats, because I think one of the things that I come across, and you will come across when you're talking to clients as well, is the fact that consistent question that you get, or that I get from agents as well, is brand awareness versus direct lead gen, right? And again, this is something we can talk about until our ears are red and our eyes are blue, right? And we will do probably a separate topic on brand awareness versus lead generation. But if we just cover Facebook primarily, I think I'm probably right in saying, is a brand awareness tool, right?
It is also Facebook. Yeah, it is also Facebook. It's, as they say, socializing. It's a social media platform where they are expecting you to engage with them. That's why we are discussing content, types of content, why to post, when to post. On Facebook, people usually go, oh, okay, I'm going to do the business page for my company, and I'm going to start posting, and I'm expecting to have reach and organic engagement, because you see all these other posts that appear in your feed where you have 1K of people commenting and you have likes and you have shares, and you say, okay, it cannot be that hard. And then you go to Facebook and you open your page and you start doing social media content on there, and something is not clicking, and you go like, oh, okay. So what is it that I actually need to do? And how do I reach people there to comment and engage with them? And I think this we need to discuss in a bit more detail, so businesses out there can understand that it's not enough to just post any type of post without a strategy and without following a clear goal. And that the quality of the post, the timing of the post, it's what will make the difference between engagement or being out there and getting a few likes here and there.
I would definitely agree with you. I think the biggest thing that I get is Facebook is long term, and it is a beast within its own right. One of the stats that we both came across was Facebook has hit 3 billion monthly active users
on a monthly basis.
On a monthly basis, 3 billion, right? That is, I mean, that is huge. And I think by 2027 they will have hit something like 75% of the world's population. I think when people hear that, 3 billion people using Facebook, right? Well, I need to start using it, and within a couple of days I'm going to get loads of people liking and sharing.
Chris, out of those 3 billions, half a billion is using stories and reels on a daily basis. And if we are following the stats, Facebook is still the platform for contacting friends and family and sharing. Basically, so the content needs to be worth sharing. You have to find a way to create content that is going to be worth sharing for your audience, not from your point of view. So content needs to be clearly differentiated between what you like as a person and as a business owner and what your audience likes.
Yeah, definitely. I think the other really big thing that is going to be consistent throughout this is a long-term project. Facebook is not going to work. And to be fair, across any social media platform, whether it's Facebook or TikTok or whatever it is a long-term project. It is not a case whereby you can just stick a couple of posts on for 3 months and then say, oh, it's not working. It takes months, if not years, to build up a successful social media presence. And there are numerous things that you can do within social media. Let's just cover Facebook, okay, within Facebook. So you can use Facebook ads, you can use boosts in order to help you along. But if you're looking at it purely from an organic point of view, you're talking a good sort of, probably 9, 10, 11, 12 months before you'll start hitting that point where you'll become what we call a serious player.
And if you play by the books, and if you play by the books and you basically know your audience and you get time to interact with them and basically reach with a content that is updated according to the circumstances, so your audience can change on, like, it's ever evolving. Some point you're going to have peaks where your audience is like now is between 25 to 35. So latest stats, because we pull them, it says user age 25 to 34 years represents Facebook's largest audience at the moment. So when you're posting content out there, when you're posting out there, you need to take this fact into consideration, and your posts need to have the specific graphic and the hook that will address this target audience. So this is one other thing to keep into consideration.
I think if we delve into that just a little bit more, because it was quite a nice stat, wasn't it? So if we just cover off a couple more really quickly for you. So Facebook is actually the most popular social network in the world. YouTube was next. I think YouTube has 2.4 billion monthly active users.
Second was Google.
Second was Google, sorry. And then YouTube. And then in terms of news consumption by social media site, you got Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, X in that order. So that's really interesting. 5.6% of Facebook users are over 65 years old, which is really interesting. Because I mean, if you look at the sort of the way that real estate works, I think a lot of people who are targeting the audience on Facebook, it's still a really, really good audience to have.
It's a good niche to have, especially if you are selling holiday homes, retirement destinations. So basically, this is an important factor. Target it right. So put out there a content that is addressing this audience and make the focus about their need. So if you're solving their need, or they know what they want. So if you're solving their need, it's gonna be much easier for them to see, oh, okay. So if you're saying tired of rainy, cold, miserable British weather, here's your solution. We have a sunny home for you.
Here's the solution.
Your solution.
I was trying to find the stat actually that and I don't know if you might have it, Simona, but I was trying to find the stat that showed. Oh yeah, here we are by age group. So 25 to 34 is 24.4%. 35 to 44 was 18%. 45 to 54 was 14%, and 55 to 64 was 11%, and 65 plus is 12%. So if you look at the average sort of across the countries that, where you are, if you look at the average kind of, you'd probably say that the average buyer would be around about 45 to, 64, 65 plus, right? Average 45, 55. 45 to 54 would probably be the average there, specifically for real estate. That's 14% of those 3 billion monthly users, right, who are using Facebook. That is a heck of a lot of an audience to miss out on.
It is.
So we're going to cover off how you kind of fully take advantage of that. So enough stats, because otherwise we could probably be talking about stats for the rest of the day. But let's ask ourselves when we should be posting on Facebook. So Simona, over to you.
Okay, so Facebook, of course, it's encouraging you to post as much as possible, and then you get to when. So posting, usually, let's think about it. When do we have actually a bit of free time? So early mornings, dropping kid off, or at the coffee, or at the, I don't know, like time off for 10-20 minutes, or commuting to work. You have free time at lunch. granted different time zones so people can have lunch different times. So like put it between like 11:30 and 2:30. And in the evenings, usually late at night, because then again, some of us stay up late and browsing before bed is not advisable, although we indulge in that as well. So yeah, mornings, afternoons, and evenings, usually it is recommended. So avoid 10 o'clock or avoid, I don't know, 5 when it's rush hour and we are squashed like sardines. No time to get out the phone and look at social media. So yeah, on Facebook, post when your audience is most active. So if the latest stats are telling you, so usually use the insights all the time. So check it and take into consideration, okay, mainly we can post mornings and in the afternoons and the evening. Pick a time and be consistent. Try to stick plus like 20 minutes plus minus with that time. So the algorithm would also understand, and your audience is also going to understand what to expect. So they're going to know you're posting pretty much at the same hour. So they're going to check then. And then you can compare the effective that is with the mix of audience reach for those hours. Now,
The
there is
insights on Facebook. Sorry to talk over you there, but I think you mentioned something about the insights. Now the insights on Facebook, probably some of the best I've ever used in terms of a marketing tool. When you start to build up a decent posting, it will sort of suggest times to post, wasn't it? It will tell you specifically when your users are most active, and you can really take advantage of that. I think that's really, really good.
Now if you go into Meta Planner, you're gonna also have goals. So it's gonna appear there when you do the posting. They're gonna also suggest, look, we are suggesting you to post this amount of stories. We're gonna suggest you to post a minimum of 3 reels per week. We're gonna suggest you to do this amount of posts. Have a valuable insight updated. So yeah, check it. Make a habit to check every morning. Check in the afternoon. Check in the evening. So just a quick browse, it will give you like a really good insight. This is how you can verify if your content it's aligning with the goal that you wanna achieve.
I read some.
Okay.
I read again. I said I wouldn't mention stats again, but I'm going to because I think it's really interesting, right?
But you love them.
So in terms of where everything is headed, there's this phrase which it's really corny because it gets overused in the industry, but it is really relevant, which is content is king. Content is king. Strategy is queen. However you want to play it, you can say content is queen, but the phrase is content is king. But if you look at some of the stats, a lot of people might say, or a lot of businesses might say that frequent posting is better. Well, actually, the stats argue otherwise, right? Yeah. So the stats will argue that frequent posting doesn't result in higher engagement necessarily, because what's more important is the type of content that you're posting. If you post genuine, relevant content that your audience finds interesting, that is going to get you more direct engagement than if you just post 50 times a week.
The frequency of posting is very important. It's one thing posting 1-2 times a day, and it's another thing spamming your audience. So if you're throwing out there 10 links a day, so of course you are a real estate agency and you need to promote your houses and you need to promote your rentals, holiday rentals. You have a lot in your portfolio to show and you have just one channel. So the tendency out there is they will post, 3, 4, 5 posts, links, properties out there. The audience is going to be divided, and at some point it's going to get a bit annoyed as well. Keep in mind that every post should have a target audience, and if you're targeting people that in that day you're doing a post about Costa Blanca, let's say, so you're targeting people who want to relocate or have a holiday home there, are posting about that. So if you want to do another post, try doing a lifestyle post that is related to the area. And the third one, if you feel the need, you can do as a quiz or as a survey or as a poll. So something engaging to them. If instead you're posting out there 3 posts and one is Costa Blanca and one is Murcia and one is Costa del Sol, the audience is going to go, oh, okay.
Yeah, there is
So either
there is definitely a strategy to it, isn't there? For sure.
yeah,
And
so content and strategy go hand in hand. You cannot have one without the other. At this point, we are discussing content, so I'm just mentioning fact that you have to be very aware of the type of content you are posting and to
Yeah.
keep the same coherency
Yeah.
within the post in that day. On that note, if you're doing a post on your grid on Facebook, you also have the option for the stories. You also have the option for the reels. If you are uploading the same reel with a content like the post, put the story on a different graphic or upload a story that is mentioning that post and is redirecting to your website.
Mm.
Facebook allows you to do that. So when you upload the story, you can put the link of the website in the background of the link of the shop, and people can go click through that.
It's funny though.
So
It's funny though with links, because I see it quite a lot, and I think what a lot of real estate agents tend to do is less description, more links. Right? You've mentioned that yourself, and I think actually, if you just go and shove a bunch of links out there, links don't actually get much engagement at all. In fact, I think it is considered spammy, and it doesn't really work well for the
yeah,
algorithm. Links are great, and you can see how many people are linking through. And of course, yes, you need to promote your links, but don't be so focused on just shoving a link out there and expecting somebody to click on it. You've got to put a bit of meat round the bone.
thing is, look, stats. You love stats, so let's go with stats.
No, I
59 of
don't.
Facebook users.
I've just realized that I've compared content to a steak.
That's
Get some meat around that bone. But you know what I mean. You've probably seen it, and it's essentially what I'm trying to convey is if you just go and post like a series of links on a daily basis and expect somebody to click on it and expect Facebook to organically promote your content, it's not going to happen. You've got to have some content. You've got to have some backbone behind it. So yeah, but yes, I do love my stats.
look.
Yes.
Okay, so on that note, okay, we have 59 of Facebook users that basically reach out to a brand on the platform, which is a lot.
How many? 59.
59%. Yeah.
Okay.
On the other hand, we have paid ads that give you that click-through rate.
Yeah.
And then you have the organic content. So on organic content, if you're expecting people to reach you out through click here, send us messages, contact us, you have to do a post that is not necessarily advertising businesses or like the home. You have to do a post related to real estate that appeals to something real in that the audience can emphasize with. Sell them the lifestyle, sell them the solution to their quest, to their problem, and you'll get that click-through rates. If I'm just putting out there a beautiful home for sale, contact us now, the reach is not going to be as high as this could be. The hooks are important, and I'm going to discuss that as well. This could be, you can be in this amazing home by summer. Contact us to know how.
Yeah.
It changes the hook, and it changes the way the audience is going to view that post.
It changes the whole perception of it, doesn't it? So wording is
changes
really
exactly
important. Yeah.
Exactly. So the wording is really important. Now today you have a lot of software that allows you to put scripts out there, and it's going to give you suggestions about hooks and titles and caption.
Yeah, just don't overuse ChatGPT too much.
No, no.
I think we briefly touched upon this last week, didn't we? And all we got was elevate or allure or
nestled or a treasure trove or chest of. Yeah, so ChatGPT, basically everybody loves to use it, and they're gonna use it. Most of them, they're gonna use it without training it, so without creating templates and setting specific rules about not to use some phrase or exactly how to formulate the tone of voice, and they will get the standard description for the properties, and now you can actually see them on websites on a lot of real estate. So they all start to look the same, and you can kind of you kind of they've blended now somehow, and you go through a property and you read the description and go through another, and it's like, did I read this before? Because they are the same pattern, the same sequence of words in the same sentences, and then you go, okay.
It's
And
not
this
very
is
it's
one
not very
mistake.
human, is it? It's very
Now, this is one mistake with
Yeah.
content, Chris, that is starting to appear on Facebook pages for real estate. They're gonna take the first sentence that the ChatGPT it's putting out there, and they're gonna post it like this, and it's becoming, the algorithm is gonna say you're not original, your content
Yeah.
is not original. So if we are finding, so you have to break the pattern here, and yes, use ChatGPT, just train it properly and then modify it to what you want to convey. So if my audience is 25 to 45, do not use a voice of tone that is very soothing and like blunt for the like 65s looking for retirement.
Yeah.
Not that 65 is not a cool age. So
Don't tell my mum that.
it is a very cool age.
It is a
Like,
great age.
basically, you're
65
old
is,
enough
65
to
is like the new 50.
do what you
You know,
want
it's
again.
a great age. It won't be long before
It's
I'm
a
there.
great age.
So, you know.
We need to cover consistency because we kind of briefly touch on this. So you need to develop a style that basically will represent the voice of your brand, and you need to keep consistency. So if you're posting 3 times a day, post 3 times a day. Don't start posting 3 times today and then skip for 2 days. That's fine. And then post again on a Friday and then skip another 2 days. This is not something that you do. Pick certain days, pick certain hours. See the insights for your audience, like search the peak audience when you need to post, schedule that. So Facebook is allowing you to schedule the post, to check in location, to put in activities. This point, check all this and then schedule a post and be consistent with posting.
Consistency will help to build brand awareness as well. So that's an important point there.
Then when it comes to how you express yourself, because we touched that briefly with ChatGPT, write engaging captions, like write engaging titles that you put out there on the graphic or on your video, something, keep it personal and simple. So avoid standard phrasing. Are you looking for your dream home? Yes, everyone is wishing for a dream home. I like, still, how many times can you like use dream home and the epitome of luxury? And so go back to basic and just put out there, home is where your heart wants to be. We're here to help you come home, something like this, and audience will feel like you're actually talking to them.
Yeah.
And then I think the visual content, this goes, like, I have to say it because sometimes I do find out there really poor quality images. So real estate is something that usually when you're looking to relocate or to have a holiday home, you're looking for something a bit glamorous, something that will put you in that holiday mood that you want to be and make you feel relaxed and happy. So please put out there quality, high resolution images or videos. Try to not put images with a lot of clutter inside. It's better not to put them at all. If you want to sell or advertise a house and the images that were given to you, or you took the images, were with a bit of cluster in the rooms, or beds that are wrinkled, or I don't know, anything else, shoes that are left somewhere in a corner. If you don't want to go and remove those for the aesthetic of the image, just don't put the image at all. Sometimes it does more harm than help. So when it comes to that, this is something that please don't do with the content. On the other hand, please do out there images that will make the buyer envision his life there. Amazing view of the pool, or the perfect view from the bedroom. At the bathroom.
Not the bathroom. Please, not the bathroom.
Please, not the bathroom.
Well, unless it's got some kind of whirlpool spa bath in it, you know, that's always quite fun, I guess. But
okay, unless it's a 5-star hotel spa, okay, resort bathroom, okay, fine. Otherwise, please don't put bathrooms. At least when it comes, so okay, it's okay to put them on their website. So when you do the house tour and you have all these images, okay, you need to put garden and everything related to the house, including pantries and basements and garage and all other things. When you're posting on social media, though, just stick to those 4 or 5 perfect images and keep on putting like a basement with no light or with a lot of luggages and things all over the place, because that is not creating the very best impression. It's like you can put out there, it has a garage.
Yeah.
It's okay. More details on the website. Just keep on putting unflattering. I mean, it's important to know you have a garage and have like space for storage. It's just I don't particularly want to be put out there for everyone to go like.
Is there out of interest? I think this is quite important. When you talk about visualizations, obviously, well, okay, maybe not as obvious as I thought based on what you've seen, but visualization is key with good high quality res images and things like that. But across Facebook, because Facebook obviously offers, I keep saying the word obviously as if it's like people know about this stuff, but this is why we're here, because they don't. Facebook itself offers static posts, videos, stories, and reels. Now,
Yeah, you have a variety of content out there that you can use.
is there any one of those that is more important or creates more engagement than anything else, or should you be using all of them as a means of communicating and engaging?
Before last year, I would have said, okay, everyone is advising you to put value-driven content out there, and it's still valid. So your content needs to have value behind it, and it needs to offer something to your audience. So the value-driven content, it is important. It kind of takes a second place now to trending toppings and user-generated content.
Okay.
Because let's go back. Facebook is a platform for sharing with friends and family, and usually if that is the case and your user wants to share with their family and friends something and you want your content to be shared by that person, you need to offer something within that post that it's appealing to him, he likes, it's one of his hobbies, or most importantly, the one that is generating more content than ever is the one where the person actually can see, oh, that's me, goes, oh, that's me. So it's either a funny meme or a quote of the day or a funny situation or a behind the scene thing that happened to you. It's something that your audience goes like, oh, that's me. Like I dropped my coffee on the way to work. Yeah. Me too.
Yeah, I did one of those, I think. And I did one of those, I think. In fact, I did something, I can't remember if I dropped my coffee or something like that. And I got some really good likes on it. And I was like, oh, this is the content that works.
Yeah, because we go back to real life. So I know you're selling, like we are selling houses and holiday retreats. Thing is, we are selling it to like normal life people that spill their coffee, they get stuck in traffic, they feel tired and want to have a good view when they come home. So post relating to something that the viewer can feel like, I felt that it's me, it's representing me, is gonna be shared. If the content is funny, it's gonna get more likes and more shares. If that content becomes a meme or is a meme itself, again, it's gonna be shared because a lot of people are gonna go commenting. So on that, can use the reels and the stories. As I said, more than 500 million people are using it every day to share with their friends and family. So reels, when it comes to, yes, granted, you have video tours of the homes, the properties, which is sometimes less.
We're going to cover that in another episode, I think, aren't we? Like videos.
Yeah, we're going to cover that in a next episode. The thing is, if you're a real estate agency, shortly, try not sticking only with video tours. Try including in your content some of the trending topics, like something that is trending. You can search that and see, oh, this is trending right now. So let's see how I can put that into my content and provide my audience with this topic as well on my profile, something that we can relate and debate and discuss. You should include this in their post. And even you should include sometimes some share from other brands or other posts, something from the industry. So you can share some important news from the industry. You can share some hot topic or like latest news relating to the area or the neighborhood or something big that is happening there that the audience will find interesting and something that they need to know. So on this one, you go on the type of content that you can have. So you go with you can have a blend of value-driven content and the trending tops and the behind the scenes, because this is also important. And this is one step that most real estate agencies are skipping. So those behind the scenes from the office or from the life of a real estate agent, a snapshot goes a long way, and they are not putting it out there. So we have very few or not at all images with the team behind the brand,
Yeah.
with the agents, with their office, their work environment, if like any expression or any emotions from their part. So this is something that real estate agents can improve when they wanna sell basically a home. So just take a snapshot of yourself, speak on the camera for 50 seconds, and that story or that reel is gonna definitely increase your audience
Yeah.
instead of a static post.
I think
This
a chap called Stephen Bartlett, who is one of the new dragons on Dragon's Den. I say new, but he's probably been there about a year now. He released a book recently, didn't he, called The Diary of a CEO? Well, maybe we should release one called The Diary of a Real Estate Agent. I
behind the
don't know. I
scenes,
don't know if anyone
no.
would read it though, but behind the scenes
Well,
of a real estate agent, that could be quite fun.
yeah. Honestly, come on. Life of a real estate agent is quite filled with a lot of complex situations. So they are not just
Yeah,
selling the houses, they
that's
have
true.
to deal with a lot of other things. And dealing with everything takes them
Mm.
away from their social media content and strategy. They go, okay, we need to have social media. Okay, what
Yeah.
do we do? We do the Facebook and we do the Instagram post, or maybe we can do the TikTok. And then comes, okay, who's gonna handle all this? And the truth is, you can't just have just one man or one person. It's either a full-time job. Okay,
Yeah.
you hire someone that his full-time job is to create engaging content and do the strategy and follow all the steps and do the ads and everything that has to be done. Or you're not gonna get those leads that everyone is asking about. So you're going to get brand awareness. If you're playing your cards right, you're going to do brand awareness, and you're going to have people engage with your brand and liking your brand and recommending your brand. You're going to gain trust. It's going to take a while until that trust is converted into leads and goes through a sale, because before you're asking someone to give you a good chunk of their money, you have to make sure they actually like you. So it is important, and to actually like you, they need to know you, to get to know a bit of yourself in there. So granted, you're playing a brand awareness campaign and you can't just post a picture with you in the brave ones might, but the thing is, cannot gain followers like if you're on a personal account and you're putting yourself out there on the beach with a sangria in the bikini and say, hey, what a wonderful life. So you can't do that as a business page. You have to stick to the professional part. There are though ways to put yourself out there and creating engagement content, and on that part, engagement prompts need to be at least once a week on a Facebook page of the agency. So you need to ask questions, and you need to use call to actions. And you need to, most importantly as well, when you do posts that you have engagement on, have someone in the agency go in the messages and start chatting with the people, replying to people and answering your messages. Some of the agency get messages and they just leave them in the inbox with a standard, thank you for contacting us, we're going to get back to you, and they never do, which is a big mistake. So Facebook is a platform where people like to engage and socialize. So it's important to put a pinned comment out there to your post saying, hey, followers, we need your opinion, or what's your opinion, or have you ever been in this situation, or tell us something, like give us a sneak peek into your sunny holiday here, or something that will make them engage. If you're just posting out there a pretty picture and a bland description and you're expecting to have likes and engagement, is not gonna happen. No matter how beautiful the house is. So no matter how amazing the house is, if the call to action and the hooks and the graphic, it's not taught to capture the engagement, is not gonna do its job. So
I think the other thing, I'm gonna have some coffee now because it's probably cold after 40 minutes.
Do not remind me. Please.
But I think you were making some very, very good points there. One thing that I'd like to add to that, I think, is real estate is it's a totally different kettle of fish than anything else. Essentially, you're asking somebody, right, who's never met you before, okay, to trust you with a huge sum of money, right, with either their savings or hundreds of thousands of pounds. They aren't going to do that if they don't believe in you. And part of brand awareness, which is what Facebook is, part of that Facebook journey, and let's be honest, it is a journey, is to build that recognition, build that trust, and build something that is credible. You're not going to get leads or even engagement or even anything through Facebook if you go on it for a 3-month period and then go, right, no one's joining me, I'm going to quit. That's like me walking into a bar, right, meeting somebody, right, for the first time, and within the first 3 seconds going, hey, by the way, can you lend me £100,000? I know it's a bit of a far-fetched principle, but it's exactly the same thing.
Chris, you can do just like in Facebook. If you go into a bar to a person that you've never met before, and then you have a conversation where you're touching educational and entertainment and inspirational motives behind the reason you are asking him that money. And if you are doing your cards properly, at the end, you might just get yourself a loan.
You might, but it takes time. I think what I'm trying to say here is it takes time.
Look, we are posting out there, so real estate should post, like everyone else, an educational content. So that means that if you want engagement at first, you have to share tips and you have to share tutorials, and you have to somehow give bits and bobs that educate your audience without being that obvious. So one mistake is people go too obvious on Facebook on educational posts. This is what you didn't know, and some of them with stats that are very, very lengthy and very heavy to read. So they need to understand that when you're posting on Facebook, you need to keep the caption and the description very short, mobile friendly, SEO friendly, and importantly, really quick and easy to read. You cannot go out there and copy pasting like a page of a Word document and expect people to go, yay! They will not. Post out there 3-4 sentences that are.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you do that,
you'll
actually, if you do that, you will actually be marked down because it's not specific content. It's not specific. It's not unique content. So
it's not unique content. Okay. So the other aspect is you have to also entertain them somehow. So on this part, if you can post memes or jokes or lighthearted videos, do that. If you can produce them yourself, do that. So on this part, you go, but we only have video tours. Okay. But entertainment can be something that happens to a local fair, can be a beautiful sunset over the sea, or can be something that you surprise like on a local taverna, like a specific food or recipe, or any kind of piece of life that you can capture out there, put it in a 40 seconds video and create a beautiful reel with a good caption on it, a big one, even for the ones that can't see properly. So on this part, when you do the content out there and you do the reels and you do the stories, try keeping the text, the title, the big title or the text or the message you want to convey close to the middle of the reel. So when most of or good chunk of the audience is seeing their Facebook from their mobiles. Making sure that your content is mobile friendly for mobile friendly users. So you need to make sure to reach this audience and they don't go like when they scroll through your post. So keep that within lines. And you can entertain them. So you can educate them and you can entertain them. The thing is, you are also required to put out there a quote of the day or inspirational post content to be ranked as well. So that doesn't mean you need to go every day like this is the quote of the day. Finding your dream home.
Albert Einstein.
Okay. So it sometimes helps if the quote is from a person that is trending in that chart and you can somehow customize it for the post itself. But yes, you can do real estate posts that are inspirational without being corny, and it's advisable to include that. And now I'm going to mention interactive content. Many are ignoring this part when it comes to content. So quizzes, polls, and surveys actually matter. So you don't have to do them every week. Just do at least 2 a month. This way you can keep in touch with your audience and you can actually find some direct insight from them. So if you are doing the post to create engagement and to create interaction, make sure that the graphic and the text itself, the hooks are there, and then put up a poll or a survey and ask your audience something that it's linking them to the home they are looking for, or the area or the lifestyle they are looking for, and put it up funny. So put it up a bit relaxed and casual. Do not start to put out there like a standard boring survey. Those are rarely working. So
Yeah.
you get those a lot.
Yeah, I see those quite a bit.
And
So
so you can put it out there twice a month. Just keep it funny and keep it in a relaxed, casual tone of voice so people can feel that you are interacting with them. There is some content on social media pages for real estate that you go, this is very cool, because they are keeping it very lively and they are keeping it like very real, and they are engaging and interacting with their audience, and you can feel that in the way people are commenting and the numbers of followers. And then you have agencies that are posting really good content. It's just they are keeping it very, very formal and official, and you rarely reach
see
half
engagement.
of the you really see
Yeah.
half the engagement that you're going to see on the other side. And this is the main message, I think, for this year. You need to try to relax a bit the tone of voice on Facebook. So I know there is a lot of information when you want to post a house for sale. Thing is, you don't actually need to give them all the details. So just put region, title, and if you want to put the price, just put the link out there. Instead, write some beautiful sentence out there that we're gonna make them stop scrolling and then pay closer attention to the images. And if they like it, then they themselves will contact you, or they will click and see more. You don't have to put all the details out there and just expect everyone to go through and then click. And also try not to put 2 or 3 links within the same post, or those links need to necessarily be related to what you're saying. Because if you're putting clickbites out there that are leading to nowhere, or to broken pages, or to something that is not related to the audience, it's not going to go anywhere, and it's not doing anyone any favor.
Yeah, you definitely want to. I think when it comes to Facebook, there's a very well-known phrase, which is less is more. And I think you want to people interested, but you want them clicking on a link to go through to your website to read more information. So if you put all that information out there already, people are like, well, I've read it now. Thanks. And then they don't do anything with it. I would much rather provide less information than providing everything.
Okay, honestly, if I would go into a don't session, I would go say avoid overwhelming your audience. So do not overwhelm them with too many posts, because it can lead to unfollowing. Like they will gonna click unfollow if you are spamming them too much, or if the posts that you are doing are not related to what they are interested in.
Yeah.
Because as we discussed, it's a broader audience. Yes, they have a main a factor. They are all looking for a dream home, that ideal home. It's just they are not all looking in the same region or for the specific house that you're advertising. So if you don't keep that in mind, you're losing that part of your audience that is still interested in buying, just not particularly interested in seeing only new built villas in that region.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you have to. You have to. When I think this might lead us on to sort of part 2, but you definitely have to keep things staged. And I suppose one of the ways of doing that is that you don't just go and post 25, 30 properties, right? You do talk about the area. You do talk about the lifestyle. You do talk about the family activities. You do talk about the golf. You do talk about this, that, and the other. Because people, in terms of what you mentioned, the educational side of things. When people look to buy a holiday home abroad, or when people look to move abroad, they don't just look for the house. The house is just one small part of that journey. The whole thing is, well, what area are you interested in? Because every little town, every region will have something slightly different, will offer something slightly different. So when you're posting on Facebook, you've got to talk about the area and that side of things just as much as you would talk about a property. And I think you'll probably agree with me on that one. At least I hope.
I guess thing is, some of the real estate agency there tend to over promote with their posts. So they promote their logo mainly and their details, like the contact details, and then they're gonna just promote, like over promote that within the posts. And this is not something that you want to do. So if people knows your brand, you don't necessarily have to put out there the logo and the contact details and the website and so on and so forth. So stick to, if you're doing the post and you want to put the logo, keep it to the logo. If you want to highlight the website, just highlight the website and skip the logo or any other details. So do not over promote, so they won't feel they're like pushed into seeing only your services and only you as a service provider. They need to see you as a helper.
Definitely. They need to see you as somebody that can help them, not somebody that's only interested in promoting themselves. Definitely.
That's the thing. So if you wanna actually get to the audience out there on Facebook and they are available, so we go from the assumption that once they are on Facebook, you can reach them. If your message is put correctly and the graphic is compelling, you will reach your audience. Now it's about consistency and it's about following a strategy, which we're going to discuss in the next episode, because type of contents and when to post and how to post, it's one thing. But then if this content is not following a particular strategy, you are going to be left with a content that, as great as it is not going to get you to the likes or reactions or leads or the sales that you want. But this is in another episode.
It is going to be in another episode. Yes, for sure. We will do. We said there was a lot to cover with Facebook.
One more
on TikTok.
Okay, TikTok. One more don't. Sorry, one more don't, and I'm closing with this one at least.
Please,
don't ignore negative feedback. So it's important as well.
Yes.
I can see some of the businesses sometimes they block or they delete or they hide the messages or they try to ignore the bad reviews out there or any grumpy review if there is any. And this is not the way to go. If you have a content out there that someone commented on and their opinion is different from yours, or they have a, I don't know, sticky point to make, try to reply back to them in a basically amiable response and try to mediate what's happening and offer publicly to help look into the subject of their discomfort or discontent. So you have to put yourself out there and say, okay, this is the review or this is what's happening. Let's see where is the like misunderstanding out here and solve things out. So don't ignore bad feedback there.
Don't be quick to hide negative feedback.
Don't be quick to hide. Also, something that I forgot to mention when it comes to content, and it's important, if you're a business page and you have content that you want to share within groups, this is very, very important. Make sure that you read the rules of each group and that the admins or the members belonging to that group are not going to just automatically, sometimes that they feel like, flag your post as spam, because Facebook takes your page down before confirming that you were guilty or not. So basically, if I'm posting my sales post into a group that is for Greece, and they are saying there they are allowing you to repost sales and houses for rent or houses for home, and then they flag because they don't like the house or basically they just annoyed by you and they flag your post as spam, Facebook is not going to go, oh no, they are wrong. Facebook is going to go, you got flagged 10 times or 20 times, and it's not even going to show you why you got flagged. They're just going to say you broke the community rules, you got flagged, and they're going to take your page down before you have to complain to them and appeal and reinstate your page. So be very, very aware when you're posting to groups that you have to have their consent, like make sure they're not going to flag you or make sure to follow those notifications on your post content. So you would avoid this one. So this is very important for them as well, because I know many real estate agents are sharing their Facebook posts in like 12 groups or 20 groups, and then it's a lot to follow. After that, and you get a lot of notification. It just is very, very important to go through that.
definitely, it is. On that point, with regards to that, because again, it's a rather important point. There are some scams floating around at the moment. Real estate agents are not the only people, but there are messages floating around saying your page has been disabled. Click here to get it back.
Yeah.
They are scams.
Uh,
Don't click on them, because if you do, you lose access to your page. Always, 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 if you're unsure, check it. But don't just click on it randomly, because there are scams floating around.
yeah. So unless,
deal with that, but, you know, that's fine. We
I
can cover
think
that
out
off.
of 99% of your page has been under restriction or something
Yeah.
like that, can just have a look at it, and then if you do a
Well, you
screenshot
can
or
check
just
it,
if you
actually. You
go,
can check the
you can
status of
check
your
it.
page in settings. So if you're
Yeah, yeah.
unsure, always check the status of your page in settings before you click any link, because you know it could be a scam, and you might lose access to your page, and it's quite difficult to get it back.
Oh, Chris,
Good.
I just remembered now on content.
Yes.
Use your own original content. Please don't put copyrighted content out there. I know some of them, or sometimes they do take images from internet.
Yep.
So if you're doing that, find a source of free of copyright images and use those instead of just taking it from someone else. Or if you're taking
credit
them from someone else,
credit
put-
it where you found
credit
it.
it. Exactly.
Yeah,
Credit it where
I
you're
don't mind
finding
if you
it.
credit it.
Put it in text or on the picture
Yeah.
itself. Credit the author is the nice thing to do.
Yeah,
I would suggest to avoid it. You can now find a lot of free content out there if you really want to. Suggestions will, my best suggestion will be to actually produce your own content, because if you're a real estate agency, you know the area, you have viewings, you have meetings with clients, so it's very, very easy to take your phone out and just start filming or taking images of the neighborhoods and streets and everything that can be interest. Even content that generates some of the most engagement, like some of the most engaging reactions are the ones that price something from real life, like a day in on the daily market or on the Sunday market. A post about the best playgrounds for kids or the best areas to go with your dog. Let's not forget again that when people are moving, they are moving their belongings and they are moving their pets, and some of them have family.
Let's not forget.
Pets
before
always
belongings.
come. So this is one of the, let's say, one of the hooks that you can appeal to if you are coming with content that needs to appeal. If you know the house has a big garden or a beautiful garden, just try mentioning there, or surprise, like put an image with dogs playing or the cats playing or grandchildren playing. It works. Not necessarily like main image, they can be in the background, just suggest the fact that like a family with children or a family with pets can enjoy their life there. And useful tips about the areas with best parks for walking, yoga places, animal food stores.
There's so much content out there, isn't there, that you can
you're gonna go, oh, animal food store, what that has to do with real estate? And then you go, no, wait, because so many of them actually have pets moving along. And if you're moving to a new area, if the real estate agents mentions there in the house, like, this is a house perfect for dog lovers, like, because of the garden and the floors are dog friendly, if they are. So mention that, so they will know that the life can be easy in that house, and put it up on their list compared to others. So some of the details can make a difference sometimes if you just go back to relate to something in your daily life. Basically.
Definitely.
And
good.
Oh my god,
good.
in an hour.
Wow. Well, this is why it's really important with social media that you and we haven't even covered TikTok, we haven't even covered Instagram, we haven't even covered the rest of it, but this is why it's really
Chris,
important.
we haven't even covered 40% of what we need to discuss of content and Facebook.
But it's important to it. This is why it's so important that, and I'm going to bang on about it again. This is why a 3-month stint on Facebook is not going to work for you. And I think as a real estate agent, if you're on Facebook and you're, however, let's put it this way: if you're on Facebook and you're either using Facebook or you're thinking about using Facebook, and you think that it's going to generate you leads right within the first 3 or 4 months or 6 months or a year, you are all looking at it and approaching it completely wrong. You have to approach it first and foremost from a brand awareness point of view. You are building trust, you are building credibility, you are building your brand, and indirectly as a result of that, if you follow the correct strategy or you follow a strategy, you will generate leads as a result of that. But it is a long-term project. It is not a wave your magic wand, 3 months later you've got a buyer. Very, very rarely that does happen, but please understand it is not. It is a long-term project. Good. All right. Well, look, there's a couple of things that I just want to mention before we go. So, if anyone is interested in finding out more stats, there's a couple of things you can look at. So, sproutsocial.com is very, very good. Hootsuite.com is very good, and then Statista is also very good. That's where we've got our stats from. There's probably plenty of other sites out there that will give you the stats you like, but if you do want some stats, those are 3 very good places that you can go to. In terms of doing it yourself versus doing it via a marketing company, you can do either. The only thing that I would suggest personally is if you are going to go down the route of using a company to do it, make sure they've got some experience of real estate, because real estate itself is a different kettle of fish. Yeah. It is not just, you're not promoting a Mars bar, you're not promoting a clothing, you are promoting something where ultimately somebody is going to spend hundreds of thousands of pounds. So if you are going to use a company to do it, use a company that has experience in the industry that you're in, because it will help you later on down the line. And lastly, next week, what are we going to do? We've kind of got some options, really, haven't we? We can either do part 2, so we can do more Facebook, or we can come back to Facebook in a couple of weeks, because I guarantee there'll be some questions about Facebook. So maybe we can do part 2 a couple of weeks' time, and we can do something else next week. Should we leave it in the air? Should we leave it as like a kind of what's it going to be, kind of mystery thing?
Well, we can do Instagram actually if you want next week, because the algorithm changes on that one, and it's driving everyone nuts.
It does.
And the latest changes are kind of mixing and matching out there now, the content and the users. Yeah. So we can discuss about that. So latest changes on the Instagram algorithm, what to use, what not to use, how to do it, what not to do anymore. Okay. So if you want, we can discuss that.
Let's do Instagram next week then.
Okay. Listen, just before we go, I just briefly want to go through the main points to keep in mind for them.
Yeah, of course
when
you can.
It comes to content. Okay. So post consistently, please. So keep it to a minimum of 3 posts per week. Just post consistently and keep your schedule. Do use high quality content, images, videos, and make sure they are copyrighted, like free of copyright. Do engage with your audience. That means liking, sharing, talking to the audience, and basically putting comments out there to followers. Do utilize insight. It's very, very important. It's going to give you the best view if your strategy and content works or not.